All right, Tulsi Kratz, Bernie Kratz, any Krat, Indie Kratz, Green Kratz. Hello, I'm Dave, and this is Save America Vote Tulsi Gabbard. You know things are going crazy when Breitbart is putting out stuff that you can read and for the most part agree with, although they're just doing reporting and they're not saying anything too crazy. Tulsi Gabbard attacks Facebook over censorship, defends free speech for all Americans. Now, people wonder why conservatives, libertarians, independents like Tulsi Gabbard. Here we go. Free speech, kind of a founding principle, sort of like part of the very First Amendment, right? Yeah. And completely under attack. Now you can say, oh, well, they're private companies. Oh, these arguments are so old. No, it's an information highway. It doesn't cost anything to join the highway. So, yeah, they run ads and they make money, but you're expected to jump on the highway, whether it's Twitter or Facebook. So it isn't a place that should be regulated as far as speech. But if you have a different political viewpoint and this is your company, then stupid things get done. Stupid decisions are made. All right, so let's read a little bit of this. Democrat presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard issued a statement in favor of free speech earlier today, calling on Americans to stand united against attempts by Facebook and others to censor, stifle, and influence public debate. Gabbard, a Democratic representative from Hawaii, who served in Iraq with the Army National Guard, is known for her opposition to interventionist regime change wars and has opposed continuing U.S. intervention in Syria. Now, notice in this article, unlike the Daily Beast, they don't go on here to say a goofy thing like, well, some say there are people who support Tulsi who are, Russian bots or some stupid byline here. Russia's favorite candidate. No, none of that. Actual reporting here by Breitbart. So you got to give them a little bit of credit. It says here she added her voice to a growing bipartisan chorus condemning social media platforms for censorship. And then I got some video of Beto talking about racist, hateful Trump inciting hatred, and violence against Rep. Ilhan Omar. So he's all of a sudden he's a champion of Ilhan Omar. I don't know why this video is in here, but maybe it's an example of a guy who doesn't like free speech. I don't know. I would, if Beto were to win, I'm sure he'd be for anything that Mark Zuckerberg says and does. He would be for that. So the actual tweet here from Tulsi Gabbard, we must be willing to fight for the right of all Americans to express their views, even when we disagree with them. We must encourage unfettered discussion of public issues and stand united to stop Facebook and others from attempting to censor, stifle, influence public debate. Okay, so all Americans, all kind of means all, right? That's what you want. And this is an issue we should all be in agreement on. But this new thing called hate speech that was invented a few years ago, which is really right out of a George Orwell book. I mean, let's be honest, people. Come on. Democrats' opposition to social media censorship emerged rapidly in recent days. By the way, Tulsi has always stood for this. So you got another Democrat candidate, Senator Elizabeth Warren, who was temporarily banned from running advertisements on Facebook that promoted her plan to break up and regulate tech giants. Well, if you're a tech giant and you're running ads on there that are saying that we should break you up, I can kind of understand Facebook's point here, but again, she's paying you money. And so if you're not afraid. If you can, basically take a punch here and there and stand up to it, then you should be able to run her ads and take the money. Other congressional Democrats have previously disparaged Republican concerns over tech censorship as a conspiracy theory. Of course, it's all just one big conspiracy theory. Because, like we've said before, yes, they're coming for somebody you don't like. They're coming for Paul Joseph Watson. Okay, they've banned him. Who's next? Is it going to be Kyle Kalinske? Is it going to be Glenn Greenwald? Who's it going to be? So all of those people, because they do not fall in line with the orthodoxy, this left-right paradigm where it's, neoconservative, neoliberal, pro-war, pro-hate speech, hating, and then we define what hate speech is. It says here that Rep. Gabbard was not among those Democrats, but she also didn't raise her voice when conservative media exposed widespread... Okay, so this is kind of Breitbart beating on her a little bit here, because she didn't speak up when the conservatives were speaking up, and places are suppressing pro-life content. One Google employee called the latter a smoking gun that proved political censorship. There are people at Google, because it's a big company, but I'm sure there are people there who are seeing things that are making their head spin, and they know it's wrong. Just censorship doesn't feel good, does it? Even things like back in the 80s, all the right-wingers were all mad because pornography and various other forms of entertainment for some folks, they were telling people that this content needed to be banned, and whether you like it or not, it's kind of like pot smoking. People should have the choice to freely peruse what they want to peruse. The censorship of Senator Warren's ads attracted support from conservative Republican Senator Ted Cruz. See, this is where you are getting some convergence on a few issues. Free speech, breaking up tech. Ted Cruz is for that. So this is where Tulsi Gabbard running for president and not just blocking everything, because it's sending a message to the party that, oh, you'll work with these horrible, nasty Republicans. Well, you should be willing to work with anybody who has a good idea. Anyway, just scrolling down a little bit more here. Like Senator Warren, Senator Cruz has also called for the breakup of tech giants. So Senator Cruz and Senator Warren and, more importantly, Tulsi Gabbard all agree that we should break up the tech giants. Throw Bernie Sanders in there as well, because he agrees too. And here they kind of throw a little dig. They say Tulsi is a newcomer when it comes to the tech censorship debate. She did not previously join her Democratic colleagues in recent months who falsely labeled conservative concerns about tech censorship a conspiracy theory. Okay, so, I don't know. The end here, she is also widely seen as an anti-establishment candidate due to her anti-war stance, and some in the mainstream media have tried to link her candidacy to Russia. Okay, so they didn't need to put that in there, but they did. These people can't help themselves. I mean, why did they have to even put this last sentence here in? Okay, but for the most part, Breitbart gets this article right. It's kind of like the Tucker Carlson thing. Every so often, you watch Tucker Carlson and you're saying, he's better. He is actually more fair than everybody else when it comes to Tulsi. So, you want a free speech candidate? Here she is. Free speech candidate. Elizabeth Warren is not a free speech candidate. She's really not. She just wants to get her ads out there. She believes in all the hate speech and all the, the mongering that goes on, that everybody over there in that little group. They're all afraid of words. I'd be more afraid of bombs than words, but you don't seem to have a problem with dropping bombs, but you have a problem with certain people dropping words. And I think Tulsi Gabbard, what makes Tulsi better is she can appeal to so many more Americans. If her voice got out there and people were able to hear it without this last sentence getting tagged onto everything, you know, they tried to link her candidacy. At least they said they tried to link in the mainstream media. At least they understand that. But to even include it is kind of like a rhetorical trick. It's kind of like when a lawyer asks a question of the defendant and they know they're going to get an objection. They get the question out there. And it stays in the minds of the jurors, and it's a technique. They get to hear what this is, even if the judge says, strike that, doesn't matter. So again, here's another instance where the word Russia was tied loosely here to Tulsi Gabbard. But again, if you're for free speech, if you're for ideas, unfettered, this is your candidate right here. And the more I hear Tulsi speak, the more I know she's the one. And all these attempts at suppressing her campaign, I don't know, it's up to us. We have to, again, my logic is, right now, she's a Democrat. We still need to go around. We need to go around the media. We need to go around the false narratives. We need to go around the people who we think are friends of ours or allies. You know, like that TYT channel, which is out of its mind still on Russian collusion and all of these tribalist things that get us nowhere. We need to go around all of that stuff and make better choices. Make better media choices. Choose better candidates. And if this doesn't work out, we find a third way. And I'll continue to say that in every video. We need to find another way. But for now, Tulsi Gabbard, while she's a candidate, while she's in contention, she is the best way forward for us. And I think all Americans would be proud to have her as president if she were to actually win, and she would beat Trump in a landslide. So that's my take. All right, done with this video. I will be back soon. Have a great day.